Right, let's do the headlines. And some churches in the capital say they are reviewing their security policies. Christ the King Church, for example, have banned backpacks or back carriage bags during church services. A publication in the church's circular referenced recent attacks on Catholics in Burkina Faso and Sri Lanka. The church has therefore encouraged all parishioners to alert security of suspicious movements. JoyNews has been checking on security arrangements at churches on the heels of warnings that terrorists are now targeting Christian establishments. Maxwell Agogba put together this report.
In a CCTV footage captured at the St. Sebastian Catholic Church, Sri Lanka in April this year, the suicide bomber could be seen walking into the church with a backpack. He sat on the front pew where he found space before detonating the explosive he was carrying, killing scores of people. Similar attacks on a church in Burkina Faso took a different method, in which the priest and his son died. Subsequently, many churches in Ghana have become conscious of the safety of their members after a terror alert by the African Center for Security and Intelligence Studies that a terrorist group, the Salafi jihadists, based in Burkina Faso, had been moving in and out of Ghana through the Burkina Faso border for the past 4 months and are targeting churches in the sub-region.
Church service just ended here at Christ the King. The second service is about to begin. Aside from the security measures published in the weekly bulletin of the church, I've been speaking to the parish priest, Reverend Father Campbell, and he says that as part of some of the security measures, a taxi run just some meters away from this church would be pushed further. He says motorbikes would also not be allowed in here. He has described the situation as frightening.
Well, it's quite frightening. The people who come to church to worship God and give praise to God, and then a taxi and come and kill people. It's frightening. Bringing in extra security on a Sunday will be changing our CCTV, getting more cameras, and we'll be training all our ushers. So we have a lot in hand which we will be doing in the next couple of weeks. So in certain, the taxi rank outside will be pushed their way down the road. Motorbikes will not be allowed in. They'll be at a certain designated place.
As part of the new security directives at Christ the King Church, some doors shall be closed during Mass, no backpacks will be allowed, a complete audit of the security system is being carried out, and ushers are being retrained. Some church members say they are terrified.
Scary, very, very scary. Very, very scary. As for that, very, very scary. You'll be in church, bang, the bomb goes off and you are gone for life. This morning I suspected someone who came. She just walked past, just did the sign of cross like this, and then entered the church. So I got out quickly from my car and located where she was sitting. So I've been keeping an eye on her. Yes, because it was scaring the way she was dressed in a long dress, black, with a scarf on top of the head.
Here at the Christ Temple of the International Central Gospel Church, the second service is currently ongoing. I'm told by some deep-throat sources that they've increased the number of security personnel after the terror alert. Here at the main gate, I have seen a police officer from the counter-terrorism units of the Ghana Police Service. I'm told that was not the case previously.
Now, the leadership of the Seventh-day Adventist Church says that they will meet next week to discuss security in chapels in the wake of terrorism threat alerts. Now, a personal ministries director at the Central Ghana Conference says that the church wants to prevent potential attack on its members through coordinated efforts. Pastor Kwabena Ochiridako, however, indicates that until a plan is agreed, it will continue to rely on divine protection. Ohiming Teria learned more.
Church leadership says concern about the reported threats demand experts are involved in whatever anti-terrorism measures it adopts. Pastor Ochedaku spoke to Joy News on the sidelines of a cleanup at Maternal and Child Health Hospital in Kumasi.
We have structures. So the structure here, we have the union. The union will take up the matter and call all the conferences together. Then we'll draw a plan against such activities. The authorities will be meeting maybe in the course of the week to put things together. For now, I must say we have not put anything in place. So we are here to plan and maybe educate and also to call experts into our churches to educate ministers and elders in that respect. We hope that God will intervene till we meet and we educate ourselves. I know nothing of that sort will happen to us by God's grace. I know for sure.
The Africa Center for Security and Intelligence Studies issued an alert Burkina Faso-based Salafi jihadists have been frequenting Ghana by land over the last 4 months. They reportedly killed 4 Burkinabe custom officers at a checkpoint near the Ghana border and burnt 3 vehicles in February 2019. Already, Christ the King Church in Accra has banned backpacks in the chapel as part of steps to scale up security in the church. Pastor Ochedaku says the SDA Church is also building capacity of ushers to identify suspicious characters in the course of their work.
It's not enough, but for now, we have to depend on His grace. Till we meet and put things in place, there is nothing that we can do. We know ourselves, and as a church, people can come in. But if anybody comes in who is a guest, then we have to maybe watch that person closely. Pastors have started educating members in the churches. And this has also opened our eyes to put up structures that will enable members to maybe, in case, run away from the churches. So putting up a church with one door is not good at all around this time.
From Kumasi for Joy News, Interior reporting.
In the wake of terror threats and warnings, jihadists are targeting churches and looking to radicalize youth in the West African sub-region. Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is assuring Muslim communities of the NPP administration's commitment to develop and bring prosperity to Zongos and inner cities. The Vice President, who has been addressing Muslims at Aguna Nyakrum as part of his tour of the central region, called for a renewed confidence in government. Richard Kwajunyako was there. Here's his report.
The Vice President gave 3 reasons for his tour to the mosque and the Zongo communities in the central region. First, to fellowship with them as a Muslim. Second, to ask for prayers to strengthen him to continue offering his best for the nation. And thirdly, to thank them for voting for the NPP and also standing solidly behind the government. Dr. Bawumia intimated there couldn't have been a better government than the NPP government led by the President Nana Akufo-Addo, and the establishment of the Zongo Development Fund and the ministry should boost their confidence.
For the first time in the history of Ghana since independence, first time, yet is Minister for Zongo and Inner City Development. First time I established a ministry in charge of Zongo. First time. Now I Zongo Development Fund. Since independence, there hasn't been any budget that had captured separately resources to develop inner cities and Zongos. The 2017 budget amply demonstrates government commitment to the Zongos. It won't be long, we shall start seeing the dividends in the Zongo communities. This means the President loves you very much. Zongo Development Fund. First time. So
Minister for Inner City and Zongo Development, Dr. Mustafa Hamid, assured them of the commencement of main infrastructure resources in the many Zongos and the inner cities across the country.
Because in the next 2 months, they say the Obroni Freno commencement warrant. You best start development projects. It was Zongo communities. Anymore ya ama obie who say Zongo Development Fund na Akufo-Addo kan ho asem no.
We have secured a commencement warrant to start many projects. All eyes shall see what the Zongo development funds are being used for. So some of the requests you have placed before us would be responded directly by the Vice President. To tell you the truth, building mosque cannot be funded by the Zongo development fund. The Vice President supported the Muslims with some foodstuffs to help them in their fasting period. Richard Kwejunyakon, Joy News, Cape Coast.
Richard Kwejunyakon's report there. Now, police have arrested 5 persons in Chereponi following renewed clashes between Konkumbas and Chokosis in the northeast region. 2 communities, Shegmado and Naduni, were attacked. The Naduni community was burnt to ashes, but reports say timely intervention by security agencies saved Shegmado from being razed down. Now, President Akufo-Addo, who has just rounded up a tour of the area, appealed to the people to give peace a chance. But 2 days after the president's appeal, fresh clashes have been recorded, and tension is said to be mounting in the area. Police also say 24 cartridges were retrieved from suspects yesterday at Tambo. 2 single-barrel guns and 49 cartridges were retrieved from suspects today at Bombaba. Now, all suspects are said to be in custody, assisting with investigations. Now, the United Clergy International Association is encouraging Ghanaians to embrace the ongoing national identification exercise for accelerated national development. Leadership also urges officials of the NIA to work diligently to address lapses to ensure smooth registration. Executive Chairman Bishop Kwame Abram Anof, Sr., wants religious groups to spearhead education for a successful exercise. Nana Sensu Mensah has more in this report.
Bishop Abraham Anof made the appeal at a mini durbar to honor some members of parliament and metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives for service to humanity. He said challenges associated with the NIA registration can be resolved through collaborative efforts.
I would like to make a passionate appeal to you. There is an ongoing exercise, which is the National Identification Authority exercise. Wherever you are, when it gets to you, just have the time and take part in it. We are in a time that everything is changing. And you will bear with me that we can't do politics with everything. Aside that, I would like to challenge the NIA authorities that there are so many lapses on the field. And so they should be able to rectify them so that the challenges that they are facing in Greater Accra region, they will not have it in other regions.
MP for Jeso and Deputy Minister for Roads, Kwabena Owusu Adiome, MP for Bantama, Daniel Ochema Boaje, MP for Kwabri East, Francisca Otin Mensah, and MP for Boise East, Boachi Yadom, are among award recipients. Some of them spoke with Joy News.
I didn't know I've been nominated for this award, which means that whatever we are doing as members of parliament, as leaders, we need to do and do it well. Because we may not know who is investigating, who is going around doing assessment of what you are doing in your constituency.
Inspiring young people is key to me. That is one thing that I'm very passionate about. So I believe such awards will also inspire other young people to let them know that I came into the political terrain as a young person. I'm still young, but I'm trying to fit in and I'm trying to make a difference. And that is what every young person should inure themselves to achieve.
Nana Sensu Mensah reporting.
Well, that's it for the news. In a minute, I'll bring you the latest from the streets out there in Accra. And then, of course, Nimwa Nimado will join us with all the headlines for today. Stay where you are.